Okay, let's do another example. So this time I want to look at a circle, and this will be a circle that has a radius of 5. Let's say its equation is x squared plus y squared equals 25. The point 4, 3 is a point that's on that circle, so 4 squared plus 3 squared is 25. So again, what I'm trying to figure out is what's the slope of the line tangent to the circle at that point. So if you were a little ant crawling along, what slope would you experience? So I'm going to use a different notation for slope. Usually you're used to seeing m representing slope, but I'm going to use a more standard notation, which is dy dx. So if you change your y coordinate by an infinitesimal amount, and consequently your x coordinate is also changed by an infinitesimal amount. What's the ratio? So that ratio is slope. It's a more common universal way to denote slope when you're talking about curvy type things. So that's the notation we're going to use. So again, I'm going to look at a very, very, very ultra close nearby point, and this point, let me make an arrow over here. So the x coordinate is going to be 4 plus dx. That's the new x coordinate, where dx again is an infinitely small number, an infinitesimal. When x goes up by a slight amount, so does y. So y will change by an infinitesimal amount. So that's going to be another nearby point. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this ordered pair and I'm going to plug it into the equation that defines this circle. So x squared plus y squared equals 25 defines this circle. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, so x is 4 plus dx. So I have to square it. So I'm plugging it into that equation. Okay, there's my x coordinate plugged in. So I need to plug in my y coordinate and square it, which I'm doing now. And that whole thing equals 25. So here we go. When I square this, I get 16 plus 8 dx plus dx squared. When I square the second part, let me put parentheses. It's not necessary, but I'll just do that. When I square the second part, I get 9 plus 6 dy plus dy squared, and I get 25. So I want to clean this up a little bit. Notice on the left I have a 16 plus 9, so that adds up to 25, and I have a 25 on the right. So I'm going to get rid of those guys. I have dx, which is an infinitesimal, and a dy, similar. And I have a dx squared and a dy squared. So these guys are infinitely smaller than the other pieces. So I'm going to ignore those guys too. They're just so small that they're not even worth considering. So what we end up with after that is 8 dx plus 6 dy equals 0. Now again, I want to know what dy dx is. So I'm going to divide this whole equation by dx. So everything gets divided by dx. So dx is a very small number. It's not 0, but it's small. So that gives me the new equation, 8 plus 6. Again, here's what I'm after, dy dx equals 0. So I can solve for that. I can subtract the 8, and I get 6 dy dx equals negative 8. And then I can divide both sides by 6, and I get dy over dx equals negative 8 over 6, which is, if I reduce it, is negative 4/3. So the slope of that guy, so again, here's the notation that I'm using. It's the standard notation, is negative 4/3. So that's it for this one. Hopefully that made sense.